Time for my review of Grand Theft Auto Online After Hours. As always, we're going to go over the pros, the cons, along with my verdict regarding how good, okay, or bad this DLC was. And let me know below in the comment section, what were your thoughts, your views, your opinions regarding After Hours? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were there things you liked about it? Were there things you didn't like about it? Feel free and chime in below. First off, the pros. We got a new business opportunity, something new to do in the game, which is always fun. Nightclubs, that's right, nightclubs. You can pick from one of 10 locations around Los Santos. You can customize them, pick a name. We'll get back to that later. Do some upgrades to it, and if you do all the upgrades, you can have up to, I think, 31 garage slots. So new garage space, definitely always a pro for a lot of the car fans out there in Grand Theft Auto Online. So yes, lots of garage slots coming with the nightclubs. And you get, passive income up to $10,000 a day, depending on the nightclub's popularity. It does go down a little bit, so if you keep it up, then you will average up to $10,000 a day coming from your nightclub, just from, the popularity. You also have the ability to do the nightclub missions, promotions, all that in friend invite lobbies. So that's definitely a positive in my opinion, because I don't like doing stuff in public lobbies. I'll jump around until I find a solo public lobby, which gets filled like 5-10 seconds later. But for the nightclub stuff itself, for the promotions, thankfully, that's only in friend lobbies. I mean, you can do it in a public lobby if you want, but I prefer a friend or invite-only lobby for those types of things. The nightclubs also come with warehouse businesses for more passive income opportunities. If you already have, say, the warehouse or a bunker, are the biker businesses. I think there's like up to 5 slots you can pick, because you can hire up to 5 technicians, one for each thing. It's passive. All you gotta do is assign a technician to one of those, and eventually in time it'll generate stock for you to sell. Now you have to sell obviously in a public lobby. We'll get to that in a moment. And this update also includes the return of Gay Tony. That's right, the Gay Tony from Grand Theft Auto 4's The Ballad of Gay Tony, along with Laszlo. Yes, Laszlo has been a key figure in Grand Theft Auto Online since Grand Theft Auto 3. He's also featured in Grand Theft Auto 5 Story, and it's really cool to see Laszlo in Grand Theft Auto Online's After Hours. A new character, which a lot of people already like, English Dave, he's included, as well as the Axe, real-life DJs, 4 of them. Well, technically 5 of them. You have Solomon, Tell of Us, which are technically, I guess, 2 DJs, Dixon, and the Black Madonna. All of them can eventually be featured in your nightclub. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But at the same time, it's still very awesome to have their music playing in your nightclub while you're bumping and grinding and dancing, along with all the NPCs and celebrities that are enjoying the time of their life at your club. We also got 7 new Day 1 vehicles, with more to come, including the Patriot Stretch, Oslet Swinger, Dinka Jester Classic, the Festival Bus, along with the MTL Pounder Custom, the Maibatsu Mule Custom, and the complimentary Vapid Speedo Custom, which comes with your nightclub whenever you purchase, I think, basement level 1. So you get it free, but there are upgrades, obviously, to all these vehicles. Except for the Festival Bus, it is a Pegasus vehicle. We'll talk more about the Festivus Bus in a bit. There's also 250 new items of clothing, allegedly. The business battles, this is a big feature that I like, a big pro in my opinion. The ability to go into a lobby every 15 minutes, as long as there's at least 4 players. It can be a friend lobby, an invite lobby, or a public lobby. And crates will spawn, and you can go after the crates. You can fight the NPCs. There's different types of battles that take place. And if you're successful, you can take those crates back to your nightclub to eventually sell for money. What I really enjoy about business battles is it reminds me of the fun we used to have back on last gen when it came to Grand Theft Auto Online with the crates. That's right, special crates would drop occasionally, and you would have people drop what they're doing in free mode. They'd be racing across the map in supercars or motorcycles. If they could get a jet or a plane or a helicopter, they would get to that particular part of the map in order to try to get the special crate. They'd be fighting, killing each other, getting into firefights left and right, and occasionally there'd be really cool items in the special crates, like limited edition t-shirts or beer hats or money, and it was just a lot of fun. And unfortunately, Rockstar removed that for current gen. But in a way, I feel like Business Battles is the heir apparent successor to special crate drops. Obviously a lot more complicated, and I think probably a lot more fun as well, because it obviously benefits your nightclubs. So it's definitely a pro in my opinion. There's also 8 new player actions and abilities to dance, as well as a new walking style, and all the usual fixes to the bugs, glitches, and issues in Grand Theft Auto Online. Unfortunately, there's always more. That's just the way it goes with games, sadly, and they don't fix everything. I mean, we have a nice laundry list of things that we wish would be fixed that they never get around to doing for whatever rhyme or reason. So those are the pros. Shifting over into the cons, and as usual, I have plenty of cons to go over. Now, regarding the clothing, yes, there's over 250 new items of clothing. However, most of that clothing is reskins. Different colors, different logos. There's technically not anything new clothing-wise in the game. It's just, okay, this hoodie, it just has some new colors to it. Or this t-shirt, etc. Plus, there's no new hairstyles, no new beards, no new tattoos, no new hats, no new helmets. Apparently there are new, I think, hockey masks in the sports section in the masks at Vespucci Beach. But once again, reskins. It's a mask we already had in the game. They just have different designs on the masks. So when it comes to clothing and hairstyles, beards, tats, hats, helmets, masks, very disappointing from this update. I was expecting especially a lot of new clothing items. Because it's a nightclub, it's a dance scene. We could have got some stuff from the 70s. We could have got some stuff from the 80s, 90s looks. It's just been really awesome if we would have had some variety, some new unique pieces of clothing besides reskins. Some of them look really good, I'll say that. But at the same time, same old, same old. And it's possible that maybe most of the development team at Rockstar is focusing now on making content for Red Dead Online. Whenever Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out in October, that's a very real possibility. So maybe that's why a lot of this is reskin, or they just ran out of ideas. I don't know. But anyways, very disappointing when it comes to the clothing, hairstyles, beards, tats, hats, helmets. Well, lack thereof, right? Next, let's talk about the new special vehicles, because we got 3 special vehicles. The Speedo Custom, Mule Custom, Pounder Custom, and you can customize them. They look really cool, but the problem I have with them is the armored versions, because you can get them fully armored. They don't help you like if you're just taking them out in free mode for fun. If you're taking your Speedo Custom or Mule Custom or Pounder Custom, just driving around in free mode, using the weapons, causing havoc, just having a good time, they can be easily destroyed in free mode by one rocket, one missile, or one sticky bomb. However, the armor does count towards the cell missions. So once you do a cell mission with a Speedo Custom or a Mule Custom or a Pounder Custom, depending on how much crates you have to sell in your nightclub warehouse, they will actually be able to take damage depending on which level of armor you have. So the best one, I think, can take several rockets, several explosions, but that's only for sales, not for fun. It's an issue I have. I was going to rant about it on Sunday, but I thought it was just good enough to bring it up in the con section of this review vid. I just wish that we had the ability to have the buffed versions of the Speedo Custom, Mule Custom, Pounder Custom available for us to use in free mode for fun, because the only purpose they serve is during cell missions. That's pretty much it. Next, let's move on over to the Jester Classic. Now, it's awesome that the Jester Classic is finally in the game. It took them a while because originally it was supposed to be in the last update, but there was issues with it. Originally, the Jester Classic was in Sports Classics, but for whatever rhyme or reason, Rockstar decided to move the Jester Classic to sports. Now, if some of you watched Bruffy's video whenever he did the lap testing for the Jester Classic, that was another big mistake by Rockstar. Plus, it says Jester Classic in the name of the car, and the regular Jester is already in sports, so that would imply that Jester Classic should be in Sports Classic, not sports, which it would have done a lot better in performance-wise if it was in Sports Classic. But alas, another vehicle that's been miscategorized. And what's tragic about this is it was correctly categorized to begin with. While they fixed a lot of issues, they added some new customization to the Jester Classic. They did that part right. The mistake that Rockstar made was when they moved it over from Sports Classics to sports. But worst case scenario, if you don't like the Jester Classic, you can always sell it. Unlike the Festive Bus, which is crap and unsellable. Now, some people are going to like the Festival Bus or the Party Bus or whatever you call it. It is a Pegasus vehicle, by the way. Yes, it's old school, using Pegasus. So you can put a different livery on it. You select that before you buy it. You can call it up. The DJ thing doesn't work at the top. You can play the radio station, one of the radio stations, through the speakers. So you could take it out to the beach or somewhere with friends and just have a dance-off out there. For people with a shit ton of money that just love silly, stupid vehicles like this, the Festivus Bus or the Festival Bus might be right up your alley. But for the rest of us that are, trying to be smart about the content we buy in the game, the Festival Bus is a very bad purchase. So I would advise you not to buy the Festival Bus, especially since it is unsellable. Now we're going to move over to the Patriots Stretch. There's one issue that a friend of mine brought up when we were talking on Discord, Tronic, and several others have brought it up since, like Riley. The interior to the Patriots Stretch graphically looks horrible. It just looks bad. It really does. So if you ever do one of the promotion missions where you're having to drive around in the stretch, if you have a chance, try to get in the back and go into first person and look at it, or go in the back of someone else's Patriots Stretch, you'll see what I'm talking about. And another thing is, obviously you don't need to buy the Patriots Stretch because during those specific promotion missions, it's already provided for you. So another reason not to buy the Patriots Stretch. Now we're moving over to the nightclubs, because there's some issues with the nightclubs themselves. First off, at the bar, while there's some reasonably priced drinks, there's a few that's kind of expensive, especially the $150,000 champagne that you can shake up, spray in your friend's face, and then consume. Hooray. I mean, if it's your money, right? It's your money. You could spend that $150,000 on champagne, shake it up, spray it in other people's faces if you want, and then drink what's left of it. It's your cash. I guess it's just something for fun that people with a shit ton of money can do. But for the rest of us, yeah, I kind of wish that the champagne prices were a little cheaper. Maybe like $15,000 or $20,000 or $25,000, because $150,000 for a bottle of champagne seems a little high, a little excessive, Rockstar. All right, so when it comes to nightclubs themselves, I wish we had more interior options. So you can have 3 interiors. You have the standard interior, you have like a blue interior, then you have like a lavish purple interior, but you only have 3 options to pick from. At the very least, I think we should have like 6, because at the end of the day, you can end up going into nightclubs that look almost identical because of the limitations when it comes to the interior design. So I wish at the very least we had, like I said, at least twice as many interiors to choose from instead of just, I would say, gray, blue, or purple. Maybe they could have like a red or a yellow. I mean, the lights kind of changed it up a little bit, but anyways, yeah, I wish there was more, interior design options. Speaking of upgrades, let's talk about that for a moment. Now, buying the nightclubs themselves is not too pricey. There's some that are reasonable, like the one at Vespucci, Del Perro, LSIA, all the way down to Elysian Fields in the Port. Very reasonable, only $1 million for that one. The 2 more expensive ones are up in Vinewood, like $1.6, $1.7 million. It's when you get to the upgrading of the nightclubs that the price starts to go up. Not just for the nightclub themselves, like with the lighting, as well as how many dancers you want, And whether you want some dry ice, the dry ice is obviously very expensive in Los Santos for whatever rhyme or reason, but also the upgrades to the warehouse in order to increase speed, to have more bartenders and security at the nightclub, as well as SecuroServe down at the warehouse in the event that you get raided by NPCs. Yeah, as usual, the upgrades rather pricey when it comes to the nightclubs in after hours. And then when it comes to the names, this is something that really annoys me, but I understand the reason why behind it. The fact that we only have 9 name options to choose from. We don't have the ability to give an original name. And the more I thought about it, the more I understood the reasoning, right? Because Rockstar wanted to design a cool logo for each of the 9 names. And for the most part, I think they did a good job. Furthermore, there's dialogue from Gay Tony, Laszlo, see English Dave as well, the various DJs like Solomon. And I mean, you could have possibly had like an alternative like dialogue where they don't really mention the club and they're like, oh, you know, that name you picked was interesting. I would have gone for something else, but you know, it's your club. They could have done something like that. At least give us a 10th option to where we could, name our club, because you can like name your CEO office, you can name your biker clubhouse. I just wish we also had at the least, even if it was limited to a certain amount of like fonts, the number of font, the letters you could use, and maybe the fonts that they provide, with the those 9 options. It would have been cool if we had the ability to make our clubhouse a little bit more unique name-wise, and I would have been willing to be okay with like Gay Tony or Laszlo, English Dave, or one of the DJs never really actually mentioning the club by name. They just have some like funny comments to say about it, like, oh, that's interesting. But alas, we only have 9 name options, which seems a lot. But then you play with other people, and then a lot of them have the name Galaxy or the name Maisonette Los Santos or some of the other more popular ones. After a while, you start feeling like, man, there's a lot of Galaxy nightclubs here. There's a lot of Maisonettes. Anyway, so the next con regarding nightclubs is the passive income, not only for the nightclub themselves, which is $10,000 a night, also the warehouse sale, the money you eventually make, is extremely slow. It's definitely not a good way to make money in Grand Theft Auto Online. The good thing is the nightclub popularity money that you get every night and the warehouse money is passive income, so in time, eventually it'll stack up, and you can like take the money out of your safe for the popularity money from the nightclub, as well as do sell missions whenever you decide you want to sell the certain amount of stock that you have down in the warehouse below the nightclub. But it's just very, very slow. Hopefully eventually Rockstar will do what they usually do. They'll have an event week somewhere down the road where it goes twice as fast. That would be really good. Then it might actually be kind of decent. But when it comes to business opportunities, ways to make money in Grand Theft Auto Online, I think all the old ones are better, like doing heists, doing contact missions, along with stock in the warehouses, the hangars, import-export, along with some of the better biker businesses than using the nightclub warehouse to make income. Unless you have like a ton of money and you're okay with dumping some money into the nightclub and into the warehouse. In time, it might break even, but that's going to be a very long time. It really is the business aspect of the nightclub. The money-making aspect is for people that already have a shit ton of money already in the game and other ways to make money. The nightclub's where it's at, the fun part. Anyways, the next con I have is the entry fee itself. Now, it's not that bad. You have the ability to decide whether or not you want to have no entry fee for random players and friends that come into your nightclub, or you can have it like from $5 to $100, which really isn't that much. The problem is none of that money goes to you. It magically disappears. It has no effect on the $10,000 max a night the nightclub can get. No effect at all. It would be cool if it did. If like at the end of the night, say you had like 5 people coming to your nightclub and each one gave you $500, and at the end of the night it said you earned $10,500. It doesn't do that. So magically that $5, $100 disappears. In other words, it's not really worth having it as an entry fee at all, because that money just basically goes to Rockstar. Next, let's talk about the techs. So you start off with one tech whenever you go do the staff mission. You get the bartender, you get the bouncer, and you get the tech. And you assign the tech to like one thing, one of your business ventures that you have. But if you want more techs, you have to hire up to 4 more. And they get more expensive with each tech. Now, this is one thing I really wish that it allowed us to do. I wish it allowed us to take like more than one tech and assign them to the same thing. Say, for example, the only business you have is cargo. And you want to assign like 2 to 5 techs to that so that it would speed up the process of getting the cargo made. It doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, you can only assign 1 tech per thing. But I wish that Rockstar would have set it up that way where, okay, if you only have one business or you just want to focus on one business, one of your biker businesses or your cargo business, you can assign 1 to 5 techs to it. And if you assign all 5 of them to it, it makes it go even faster. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And one other thing I'd like to mention regarding selling is the same issue I've had for a while now. You can only sell in a public lobby. And this has been a thing for quite a while. An issue I have, now if you jump around, if you're patient, eventually you can find a small lobby with grinders, hopefully. Most of them grinding, mind their own business. And if you're really lucky, you can find a solo pub lobby to knock this out with. And hopefully you have some friends and crewmates to help you out with that one. But I always get very hesitant about doing a sell in a bigger lobby because there's always griefers and tryhards. And some of them, you know, they may see you selling and they may want to come ruin your day, all your hard work, you know, destroyed in a matter of seconds, which, as we all know, is awesome. The next con is GeauxBurns Summer 2018. We have 8 vehicles that have been locked. This is something we're used to. We're not really shocked by it. So what do we got? We got, let's see the B-11 Strike Force. We have the Stafford Ennis. We have the Scramjet, aka Street Racer. We have a Mark II Oppressor. We have the Menacer. We have the Free Crawler. We have a Blimp. That's right, we're going to be getting a Blimp eventually. And the Terabyte. And the Terabyte's going to be like a new updated version of the MOC. That's coming eventually. And it's going to have like cool weapons on it. It's going to have the ability, I think, to lock onto 5 enemy targets at one time. The ability to have drones. And this is where you're going to have to take the Oppressor to be upgraded to a Mark II version of the Oppressor. So, yeah, we got 8 vehicles coming eventually. And some other stuff they're probably going to be drip feeding along with new adversary modes. I think they're going to be like remix versions of current adversary modes because I guess Rockstar's out of ideas for adversary modes. Don't blame them. We have like a ton of adversary modes already. So, as expected, GeauxBurns continues. I think it's going to be all the way up to the launch of Red Dead Redemption 2. Not only are the vehicles and all this other stuff being drip fed, but the DJs are also being drip fed, though not as bad of a length of time as the vehicles we just went over. I guess you could say it's kind of episodic, right? Because this week we got Solomon. And then coming up on the 31st, we're going to get Tell of Us. So I'll be up early in the morning streaming that. And then on August 7th, we'll get Dixon. And then finally, on August 14th, we'll get the Black Madonna. So if you look at it as an episodic thing, where every Tuesday you get a new DJ, you go out, you get the DJ, and you promote the new DJ in your club. And then it means instead of one DJ you can like switch between Solomon, Tell of Us. Eventually, you can also like switch to Dixon or the Black Madonna, depending on which one you prefer. It's just a waiting game, right? The waiting is the hardest part. If you really want Black Madonna, unfortunately, you got to wait till the 14th of August, which kind of sucks. But then again, it's a little bit more reasonable than some episodic games, like Telltale, right? Telltale, yeah, some of your games take like months between episodes, or years. I'm just saying. And finally, my last con, the name. After Hours, really? I don't get the name. And I don't know. I mean, personally, I thought that it was going to be called Nightlife because they teased the name Nightlife in the first Newswire, and that's what they've done in the past when it comes to the names of future DLCs. So I thought, and many of you thought, that the name of the DLC was going to be called Nightlife. But alas, it's After Hours. Oh well. It does sound better and cooler than Southern San Andreas Super Sports Series. That's a mouthful. So there we go. My pros, my cons regarding the After Hours update. Here is my verdict. Now, if you're going into a nightclub, looking for a good time, wanting to dance with yourself, with friends, with Laszlo and his unicorn, you're going to have fun. You get to hang out with Gay Tony, English Dave. The music by Solomon and the other DJs is awesome, especially if you're into their music. I mean, they're very talented artists, by the way, very talented, and it's going to be great to have their music in your nightclubs. The promotion stuff is fun. It gets a little repetitive at times. It gives you a little bit of money whenever you complete them. I wish it gave you more, but still something to do to promote your nightclub. And the business battles are great. The vehicles, they're all right, I guess. But if you're going at it from making money, like if you're going into Grand Theft Auto Online thinking that this is a new great business opportunity to make money, you're going to have a bad time, as we mentioned already. The amount of money you make is very slow, $10,000 a day max from nightclubs. The warehouse passive income from the various businesses, slow as well. It's going to take a long while just to break even. And as most of you know already, there's better ways to make money in Grand Theft Auto Online than with the nightclub warehouse. It still eventually will make you money. It's just going to take a very long time. But overall, as always, it's nice to have a brand new update to Grand Theft Auto Online because it keeps the quality of life going. It gives us something new to do, even if it's only like a week of excitement or a month of excitement. At least I guess making the DJs episodic means it gives us something to look forward to each week, coming back each Tuesday. You know, the 31st for Tell of Us, 7th of August for Dixon, and of course the 14th of August for the Black Madonna. And hopefully those missions are fun as well. I realize that others have already put those videos up on YouTube. Spoilers, I haven't watched them. I'm just going to, enjoy them while I stream, getting up early in the morning on the next, 3 Tuesdays. Yay. Awesome. So anyways, my views, my thoughts, my opinions regarding the After Hours DLC. I like it so far. I'm liking it more and more. I play it. I really wish that, we could do a better job making the income go faster. But unfortunately, yeah, that's not the case. It's just a sad reality that we have to deal with. Anyways, feel free, chime in below in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, your views, your opinions, your pros, your cons, and your verdict regarding Grand Theft Auto Online After Hours.